Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into a topic that, well, it really resonates with anyone looking to build something lasting, something meaningful, building a legacy.
That's right.
We've got some fantastic source material here from succession planning and practice valuation for financial advisors, advisor legacy.
Okay.
It really lays out a roadmap for how financial advisors can go beyond just, running a practice to actually creating an enduring legacy. So our mission for you today is to unpack the specific ways expert support can transform that practice, taking it from just the day-to-day operation into something long-term, sustainable, and, importantly, transferable, a real asset. Think of it as understanding how to really elevate your practice.
Exactly. It's about understanding that whole ecosystem of support that's available for advisors at really every stage of their career.
From the start.
Yeah, from initial growth, scaling up, all the way through to the big strategic questions. Succession, continuity planning. We'll explore how these services address very specific needs, and crucially, what the real-world impact looks like for advisors who actually use them. It's more than just managing assets, it's managing the future of the business.
Okay, so let's get to the heart of it then. This core idea from the sources. Don't just build a practice, build a legacy. What does that really mean for an advisor day to day? It's got to be more than just portfolio management, right?
Oh, absolutely. What's really insightful here is the emphasis on building, living, and then leaving a lasting legacy.
For everyone involved.
Yes, for clients, definitely, but also for staff and for the advisor's own family. It's a much more holistic view, moving beyond just transactional relationships.
You mean like beyond just the quarterly reports and immediate gains?
Precisely. It shifts towards a multi-generational perspective. The real power isn't just, say, beating a benchmark. It's becoming indispensable to an entire family across generations.
Guiding them through big life events.
Exactly. Inheritances, funding education for kids, maybe grandkids, navigating a business sale. You become embedded as a long-term partner, not just a money manager. That's where the real lasting value is built over decades.
Okay, so if that's the goal, this deep multi-generational legacy, then there must be hurdles. Significant ones.
Oh, definitely.
Our sources list a whole range of advisor services, everything from valuations to executive coaching. So what are the biggest pain points? Where do advisors typically get stuck that these services are designed to fix?
That's a great question. It really gets to the why. Advisors often hit walls in several key areas.
Like what?
Well, the sources highlight things like just getting an objective look at the practice's health and potential. That's where assessments come in.
Okay.
Then there's optimizing the actual operations and growth that falls under practice management.
Makes sense.
Figuring out what the practice is worth and handling deals smoothly. That's valuations and deal support.
Right, the transactional side.
And then maybe the most critical piece for legacy is planning for the future. Whether it's a sale, a merger, or just making sure things continue if something unexpected happens.
Continuity planning.
Exactly. And the fact that they also list specific entity support, lending support, and legal support really shows you how complex it all is.
Can you give an example? Like, what does entity support actually do?
Sure. Entity support helps advisors choose the right legal and financial structure for their business, an LLC versus an S-Corp, that sort of thing. Getting it right impacts efficiency, taxes, even asset protection.
And lending support, is that just for getting bank loans?
Not necessarily. It can be, but often it's about facilitating internal financing for succession, helping that next generation partner buy into the practice without needing a huge external loan up front.
Ah, okay. And legal support is obviously crucial for compliance.
Absolutely. Making sure every aspect of a deal or the practice structure itself is legally sound avoids massive headaches down the road.
Okay, so we see the hurdles and the types of support. Let's talk practical steps. What can advisors actually do based on this material? What tools can they use? One of the first things mentioned is assessments. They highlight a quick practice assessment. It's free, takes 15 minutes, and you get a 30-minute coaching call. That sounds like a really easy first step. It is. It's designed as a low-barrier entry point.
But how deep can a 15-minute assessment really go? Does it risk missing things, or is it genuinely useful?
That's a fair question. Look, it's not going to be an exhaustive deep dive, obviously.
Yeah.
But its power is in quickly flagging the major opportunities or maybe glaring blind spots.
Things the advisor might be too close to see themselves.
Exactly. Inefficient client segmentation, maybe overlooked revenue streams, staffing issues holding back growth. It's like a diagnostic scan. It points you to the most urgent areas. All right. Think about Marjorie Larson, CFP. The sources mentioned her experience. She talked about analyzing her client base, our investment practice, and her individual strengths and weaknesses.
And that led to changes. Yes, it led her to develop a disciplined methodology for client management. And the result? Consistent growth in both our client base and assets under management. It wasn't just spotting issues, it was building a process based on those initial insights.
So the assessment provides the starting point.
Right. And then services like practice management, things like executive coaching or advisor growth coaching, provide that ongoing personalized guidance to actually act on those insights, to refine strategy and make lasting changes.
Okay, let's shift gears to the next phase. Buying, selling, bringing in new partners. This is where valuations and deal support become absolutely critical, isn't it?
Hugely critical, yeah.
The sources mention different tiers. Business valuation plus, specialty valuation, and then deal support premium, next-gen deal support. Why the different levels?
Well, the tiers reflect the reality that not all practices or deals are the same complexity, right? A basic business valuation is fundamental. It answers that core question. What's this thing actually worth in the market?
Standard procedure.
Right. But maybe you need more. Business Valuation Plus might involve more in-depth scenario modeling, stress testing different market conditions or growth projections, really useful for strategic planning.
And specialty valuation.
That's for practices that aren't standard. Maybe they have a very unique niche client base, specific intellectual property, complex asset structures. Standard metrics might not capture the full value there.
Got it. So once you have the number,
then deal support kicks in. This guides advisors through the whole process. It's not just paperwork.
It's the strategy.
It's structuring the deal for tax efficiency, navigating due diligence, which can be intense negotiating terms, ensuring clients and staff have a smooth transition.
And the premium level.
Deal support premium likely means more hands-on help, maybe more intense negotiation support, coordinating lawyers and accountants, bespoke structuring for really complex or high-stakes deals.
What about the next-gen deal support? That sounds interesting.
It really is. It's very forward-thinking. It shows the industry is focused on, nurturing that next generation of advisors.
Helping them buy in.
Exactly. Helping younger advisors acquire practices or build their own. Ensuring those smooth generational transitions are actually possible. You combine that with the specific lending support we talked about and the legal support.
And you've got a whole system to manage the transition.
Precisely. Managing risk and maximizing the opportunity in what's often the biggest transaction of an advisor's career.
Okay, so we've covered growth, transitions, but what about protection? Building a legacy means making it last. Right, enduring the unexpected.
Absolutely key.
The sources talk about continuity services, Practice Protect Plus, Practice Protect Guardian. It sounds almost like a business prenup, preparing for the worst.
That's a really good analogy, actually. Spot on.
But do advisors really prioritize this? Or does it get pushed down the list? It seems like something easy to delay.
Unfortunately, you're right. It often gets pushed down the list, even though everyone knows it's critical.
Why is it so important?
Because without a plan, if something unexpected happens to the advisor, illness, disability, even death, the practice value can just plummet. Clients are left scrambling, staff face uncertainty.
Chaos.
Pretty much. Services like Practice Protect create that essential framework before disaster strikes. It's not just a document gathering dust.
What does it typically include?
Usually, a designated successor or buyer, clear communication plans for clients and staff, emergency access to systems and data, and importantly, an agreed-upon valuation method for a quick, fair transfer.
And the Plus and Guardian versions?
They probably offer more ongoing support, maybe regular plan updates, active management of the plan, or even appointing a third-party guardian to step in and manage the process if needed. It's absolutely vital for that building a legacy idea.
Safeguarding what you've built.
Exactly. So its value, its client relationships, they continue no matter what happens to the individual. It secures the future for everyone involved, clients, staff, family.
Now, there's a strong promise in the source material. We will provide you with what you need when you need it. No oversized packages, long-term commitments, or services you don't want. That sounds unusual. Refreshing, maybe.
It is a bold claim, especially in an industry that sometimes bundles everything together.
So how does that tailored on-demand approach actually work? What's the real impact?
Well, it speaks directly to advisors who want specific solutions, right? Not some huge, overwhelming package. And the client testimonials really back this up. It seems to be their core philosophy.
Like,
Take Andy Huggins, CFP. He talked about achieving a better quality of life for his team through balanced planning. That suggests they didn't sell him the farm, they gave him targeted help for his team's work-life balance.
Which pays off in productivity.
Absolutely. Then there's Brian Britt, CFP. He mentioned becoming more productive, more efficient, and not running myself ragged. He even called the support vital to the success of my practice.
Sounds like they zeroed in on his specific bottlenecks.
That's the impression. It wasn't a generic solution. It addressed his specific pain points, maybe time management, operational flow, whatever it was. He got a measurable result.
There was another one mentioned too.
Yes. Craig Donahue, CFP. His feedback really gets to the how. He said the approach was comforting and empowering. And this is key. They lead, teach, coach, and encourage us to solve the problems ourselves, not just hand over answers.
So it's about building capability within the practice.
Exactly. It fosters self-sufficiency, strategic thinking. It's not about creating dependency. It's like, teaching you to fish, not just giving you a fish. That leads to real, lasting change.
That makes sense. So the tailored services are clearly powerful. But it's not just about those direct engagements, is it? The sources also mention a lot of advisor resources.
That's right. Articles, white papers, case studies, webinars.
So a commitment to ongoing learning.
Absolutely. They clearly understand that building a legacy isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a continuous journey.
And they have their own podcast, too.
Yeah, the Legacy Builders for Financial Advisors podcast, hosted by Shenandoah Connor. They bring in experts, insiders, other advisors.
Covering relevant topics.
Everything from driving growth, learning to lead, developing next-gen talent, serving clients better, all the way to planning succession. It's a whole ecosystem of resources.
Reinforcing that idea of continuous learning and adapting.
Exactly. It provides both the big picture strategy and the practical tactics advisors need at every stage. It gives you the knowledge to navigate a constantly changing industry.
So to wrap up, we've seen how strategic support, from those quick assessments right through to continuity planning, really empowers advisors. It helps them move beyond just running a business to truly building, living, and ultimately leaving a legacy. It boils down to making intentional choices and getting the right guidance exactly when you need it, continuously investing in yourself and the future of your firm.
Right. And maybe a final thought for you to consider as you reflect on this deep dive. Think about your own professional life or even personal life. In what areas might a really targeted assessment or maybe some specialized tailored coaching unlock significant opportunities for you? Where might it help you address blind spots you haven't seen or build a more robust, more intentional future? How much more impactful or even just fulfilling could your own efforts be if you strategically sought out that what you need when you need it kind of support instead of always trying to figure everything out completely on your own?